Okay, we're just going to wait a couple minutes till everyone gets here and then we'll start. So, sound check. Can everyone hear me? Hello, hello, hopefully. I'll just wait for the answer. Dawn says it's all good. All right. All right. So another minute we'll get started. We're going to talk about all about applique today, which is awesome. Applique is so much fun. I'm using the Perfect Embroidery Professional software just because it has a cool new add-on. However, you can do any kind of applique in any software as long as you have like the appropriate level. I also wanted to point out this font right here. Is that not the cutest font you've ever seen? I mean, wow. I stumbled upon it by accident and I was like, yeah, that's really cute. Obviously, it has to be bigger. This is quite large, but still, I think it's absolutely adorable. I love it. The little tulips here, great mini stuff. All right, time to get started. So, hey everybody, and welcome back. My name is Sue, and I'm from OML Embroidery. And today, we're going to talk all about applique. And we're going to have some fun with applique, but before we get started, take a minute to like the video and share it in as many places as you can. I got to get the channel kicked up a little bit. We're almost halfway there to what I would like, my dream, which is 100,000 subscribers. So help me with that, please. So, okay, let's go to applique. Let's talk about it. Now, there's a few parts to applique. So I love it that I can show the fabric as well in the software. Most software does this. This isn't just limited to this software, but there's parts to it. So now this is all joined together. Ronog, hello. Who else? Kathy, hello from Illinois. Susan Weehee waves. I'm gonna wave to her. You can no, you can't see me. Misha, hello. Misha was the first one there. Lynn, our Lynn, of course, just tuning in. I know Lynn loves doing appliques, so this should be fun for you. So let's talk about the three parts of applique. Now, I know you guys know it because I go over it all the time, all the time. Placement, tack down, and then the satin stitches. So if you're doing or digitizing applique, you need to make sure the satin stitches are big enough, because if they're too small, then it's going to show through, it's not going to look the greatest. So I did this design, and I will show you guys how I did it with like 2 clicks. So it's really easy, and it's all set up here, and a lot of the software has this automatic, which is easy. It's absolutely easy, and everything's set up for you. So you can make some changes. You do not have to use satin stitches. Tackle twill is just like a light zigzag, and I actually really like this. I think this looks really cute. Kind of a raw edge, but not really. You can do an E-stitch, which I love. I love doing the E-stitch. It's really nice. It looks really good. It's sometimes nice to put an extra outline on it, on this outline here. Cool. You can use motifs, which is kind of cool. I'll just put one on there. which is kind of neat. It's changing the size around the corners. I mean, that's not the greatest one, but you know, you get what I'm getting at. In this software, you can use a symbol. So I'm just going to put an anchor, which, you know, you'd have to tweak it a little bit. But isn't that cute? I would still do a little zigzag maybe or something like that. But there's lots to pick from. Look at all this. These are all mini things. I've done one before with, I think there's an ant somewhere. And it ended up being so cute. Flowers, so many things. So ready-made designs, you can just plunk them in. How about something like that? That does not look the greatest, but we'd have to tweak it a little bit. So symbols in this software, running Bean. Bean would have to be raw edge applique, so I wouldn't necessarily do that. And now these are new stitches that come with the add-on. So let's go back to tackle twill. Oh, I guess satin will be normal. And we can talk about what sizes, how big you need things, and different ways you can do the tack down and whatnot. So I'm going to take this off a 3D, and then I'm just going to take away the fabric just so we can see what we're doing. We want to see the stitches. So when you zoom in, you can see all of our lines. Another thing you can do with this is, and most software has this. Jan says, what software are you using? I am using Perfect Embroidery Pro by Dime, and I have the Patches and Applique, Patches and Applique add-on for it. So, and I'll tell you guys why I love this software in a minute once we get through this. There's a couple of reasons. It's inspirational and it gives you ideas. And it's really cool for that. There's a lot of built-in stuff. So we could just have fun with it. So stitch length, I don't often change this. I really don't find any need for it. But if you want to, you want to. So you can do square corners. Now look right here, or extended. So whatever you like better. I always zoom out with my mouse, and then I'm going to put the 3D on and click off. I don't know if I like that better, so let's just go back and leave it the way it came in. Let's zoom back in again. So you can play around with that. You can play around with the angle. So placement line and tack down. Now, the thing is, if you do none, oh my, if you do the tack down as a zigzag, it will kind of make it hard to cut it out. So what I always do is I just do it as a run, and usually twice, but not necessarily. And I like it offset like this. It gives you a little bit of breathing room for sure. But I put the zigzags as a underlay for this. Now, as you can see, it's really hard to do. You can't do it. So what you have to do is break it up. And that is super easy to do. Hatch does the same. A lot of them do. Look, it says break up path. So when I click on that, you can see I have now the different parts. Now you don't want to move anything because it's all set up properly, right? So this is the placement. This is the tack down. Now you can copy and paste if you want as well. And then change one to zigzag. Easy peasy. That's, easy. Now I want to go here, and it's still reading as a applique. So we're going to have to do the, I think, break apart again. But anyways, it's easy to do. Might be easier just to do a zigzag for it, but anyways. I like to have a zigzag on it. I don't always do it. I sometimes forget. Can you digitize in this software? Oh, yes, you can. It's a lot of fun. I did a whole ton of classes on it, and it's really a lot of fun. It's different than other software. It has all the power of the digitizing and everything, but it has ideas. So what do I mean by that? It has a lot of ideas. Like there's something for everyone. Oh, I picked the wrong one. I wanted to do it. Let's go back. Go back. Go back. Where am I? Go back. There we go. I'm fiddling as I'm talking, or talking as I'm fiddling. Steel. There we go. So now I've taken off the codes basically for the applique. So now we just have lines. Now, if you don't want to use the automatic one, I don't use the automatic one too often. I don't know why. I guess I just prefer to do it myself. However, one thing it does is set this up properly, and I do like it. Now, when I took it off, you noticed a lot of things changed. The first thing that changed is the size, the width of it. And 2.5 is in millimeters. It is way too small. We do not want that. I'm going to put it at about a 4. So we have some breathing room. And we want that. Lynn's favorite stitch is the satin stitch because it covers up all your boo-boos. So now we can get here. Center line I don't really bother with. You can do... I don't think you really need to. Center line, because it goes over it, the center line would be exactly where you're doing your applique. So I don't think you need to do that. I do want the zigzag. Now, it doesn't look like anything's changed, but if you look in here, there's your zigzag. So we've got our placement line in blue, our tack down stitches in red, and notice that it's inset a little bit, which is awesome. And then you trim it, and then we're going to put our satin stitches over it. So those are the things you want to look for or set up when you are doing applique in any software. Like I said, I just happen to like this, and I'm going to show you guys why in a minute. I've had a lot of fun. I could play with this software all day. So let's talk about, let's do new, and I'll show you how I made that heart. Now over here on the side, way over on the right hand side, there's all of the add-ons. So, you know, I'm not saying, you know, go out and buy this or whatever. You can if you want. I just like to show you guys the new stuff that comes out. So what can we do with this? It's pretty cool, actually. So charm designs, what is that? Applique shapes. Patches we're going to do next week because it's kind of cool. So let's go to applique shapes. And the first one that came up, gee, I didn't look too far, is the heart. And this is why I call it inspirational. If you want to get started on an idea, this is what I do. I hop in here. Let's go to celebrate. So you could bring in this cupcake and it's all set up for you. I just clicked and it's done. And then look here, you can put the fabric. You can do this with most software. I'm just going to put I'll put pink fabric on. My pop-up didn't come up. Okay, sorry about that. And now you can really see it. Now that's not a spectacular applique. I mean, it's really nothing. So let's take it back a little bit. I'm going to take the fabric out of it because I don't want the fabric on it for a minute. Let's go here. We'll just do none and apply. What can we do with this? Well, you can arrange everything how you want. So I would start off with this, and I did breakup, and then you take the satin stitches and we convert them to just the steel stitches that go around the outside. And again, everything changed, so we want to make it wider, so we'll go for 4. So now you've got it like this, and it's looking good. I am gonna make some changes, so I don't want to completely use their design because I want to do original things. But this is where I would start. So the first thing we need is, just like a line like this. And I'm not digitizing anything in particular. I'm just kind of getting a feel for what I'm doing. So this would be the cupcake paper on it. So that's a good start. Oh, Isabel, I love your little icons there. It is, I know. I don't like the way these satin stitches are in, so I am going to change them just by doing this. So I'm making it my own, and I like that much better. So I'm just taking out one of these nodes. It still looks, a whole lot like theirs, but we can still make changes. So what else would we do? Let's grab the running stitch, and I want to make it swirly. So I'm just going to put a line there just to see what I think. I think this is a lot of fun doing it this way because it gives you an idea of what you're doing. Now, obviously everything's out of order, but then once I see it like this, I think, okay, maybe what I want to do here is have 1, 2, and that 3 maybe, and 4 appliques out of it. So I don't need my satin stitches because we're going to make changes. And you see how that goes, and then you can maneuver everything and change it. Maybe you don't, it looks a lot like an ice cream, so maybe you want to make this a little bit different so it's not so ice creamy by taking this out and hit apply. And once you have an outside line, then you have something to go on. So change it up a little bit. Maybe it's this part that makes it look too much like ice cream. Let's see. It's possible. I could just delete those and click apply. Now we've still got the other one, but again, I am just playing around with it. So then you have these shapes for your applique. And what would you do next for it? Because we don't really have much of an applique here. What would you do? Well, use this as a template. And in most software, you can lock it so you can't move it, which is really nice. I don't care about this red one right now. So this is what I'm working on. I know, does that not look terrible? But you have your shapes and you can refine them as you go. Now, of course, for this one, you would do a running stitch first for this shape, and then you would do the placement and try to remember to put it in a little bit. And then you could do the satin stitches, but you don't want the satin stitches along here because this is your next shape. So we want to leave the top one, and you have to do it in order as well. So whatever order you decide, this one, and then just a little bit for the cupcake right here. And then this is a whole other applique. So once you get your shapes down, that is the hardest part to me anyways. That's the hardest part. And I took an outline and I changed it all around, and I kind of like the way mine's going. And you know what? You can do themed applique, themed cupcakes. It's really a lot of fun. You don't have to split it up this way. You could use variegated thread and, you know, make it a stitch that could just kind of cover over all the icing. Millions of ideas. So that is cool. That is how I do it. So I'm going to go here, and you guys can't see it, but I'm clicking on the little arrow underneath. Oh, and you can't see the pop-up either. Well, that kind of sucks because that was half of the show. I wonder if I can fix it. Can you guys just hold on for a minute? I don't know why it didn't work. Let me just try. Let me... Oh, I probably shouldn't do it while we're on. Okay, well, that's kind of a bummer. I guess I will have to fix this and do it after. But I'll call up a few of these charms. I'm on the Christmas one, and I could play all day with this. So there's hundreds of these charms. So look what they are. You know how much we love minis? There's tons of them. And there's a lot of things you can do with them too. Aren't these cute though? Really has nothing to do with my cupcake. My cupcake's out. I just wanted you guys to see the charms. So charm meaning small. Look at the size of this. This is in inches. So less than 1.5 by 1.5. So that's pretty small, and look how great they look. Isn't that awesome? Literally hundreds. I will show you guys this next week because I didn't have this set up right. I didn't even think about it. I don't often use this software, so, you know. So let's see. Gardening, instruments, lighthouse, mascots, flags, outdoor. Really cute. Let's pull up the sun. I know you can't see them, and I apologize. Cute sun. So you can make your applique, and then you can add your little charms to it. Now, that may seem a little, you know, kind of what? But it helps you build up something like this. Look at this. Oops, I had to make it smaller. Sorry, there we go. Applique tree, built-in design. And these are all the charms. So just by putting things together, you can make a super cute design. Now this is quite big, so if I wanted it smaller, I would make it. But look, snowflake. And because you get the native files, you can change them, change the sizes of them. I mean, you have to be a little careful. Jan says, do you have a discount code for the Embroidery Pro software, or do you knowledge, does it ever go on sale? It goes on sale all the time. The key is you don't purchase it from Dime. Dime doesn't actually sell it. Their distributors sell it. And most often it is less than half of what it shows. Everyone freaks out about the price. That's not what you pay. But you go to a distributor and they bundle it with a whole bunch of things. So you get a whole bunch of things. So, all right, back. This, I wanted to show you guys. I stumbled upon it. Look, it's Mylar. It's already done Mylar lettering. I was like, score, that is so much fun. But I made this cute design, you know, hardly doing anything. And I played with the lettering because I'm a fonty kind of person. So I really like these. And the little presents, do you know how much time this saved me? Just for an example, this is why I was saying be prepared to be inspired. Now, there's nothing wrong with using pre-built anything because it's easy and it's fun. And who's gonna know, right? And you could just, you know, look at different things. They're very intricate, and you can, again, make them larger. Is that not the... Whoops. I just moved my tree. Let's go. undo. And there we go. Okay, I really wanted to grab the snowflake. But isn't that the most intricate snowflake ever? I absolutely love it. I sat and played with this, so that's why I'm making it bigger. I sat and played with it. But anyways, you can have it as small as you want, as big as you want. And I was going to show you guys a lot of the charms because there's so many of them, but you guys can't see them. So I guess that's a waste of time. So isn't that a cute example of what you can do and add some lettering? And, you know, obviously things aren't placed properly. I didn't even change any of the colors. But if you were going to, you know, actually stitch this out, changing all the colors to match and organizing it, you'd have to do all that. So let's go to another one. Now, this is a built-in design. If you can believe it, it is built in. And I thought this was literally the cutest owl I've ever seen. Applique fabric behind it, and applique fabric here and on the feet, and a little bit of applique for the tree branch. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so we can see it. But how cute is that? Again, that took me like 2 minutes to do. I love the beak. I just noticed the beak is a heart. And those eyes. Oh, man. Awesome. So cute. So cute. I wish you guys could see it. I'm like, darn. I gotta get used to this software again. The video software I meant. So yeah. Applique shapes. Let me see what else I can find. Because the owls I thought were fantastic. But you guys can't see me, so But isn't this owl cute? And it's the same thing that it's all in one. It's all done. So it is literally a click. And there you go. It's done. I don't have Pep, but I have my lace maker. Oh, it's my favorite. I love my lace maker. My quilt planner and etc. from Dime. And then you have it in the free tool shed. The actual Pep software lets you do everything you need to do for digitizing. So it's kind of like a all-in-one kind of package, and everything's here at the side. So I kind of like it. I kind of think it's cool. So I'm going to show you guys something super cool that you can use for all this. You can go ahead here, and I'm over to the right, and I'm in lace. And why don't you make it a lace? Just with 2 clicks. I think I want a... oops, just mad clicking today. You can make, there we go. And I've turned my owl into lace. So that is really cool just to have them all. Again, I'm just showing you guys the possibilities are endless. But with 2 clicks, I made it into lace, and we can do the same with this. It's super easy. Change it from an applique to lace grid and border, and let's do it to the other one just for fun, just because I'm having fun doing this. Lace grid and border. There we go. Now how's that? Isn't that cute? So turning your applique into lace, if you have them both, couple of clicks, and you could stitch that out for anyone doing it like that. Super fun. I really enjoy having the applique maker. I think it's a whole lot of fun. So I kept playing because I just find this so enjoyable. And look what I did here. And it's all built in. And I thought this one was really cute. So the snowman is 1, and I just brought it in. Then I added the charm snowflakes, and then I added some groovy lettering. How cool is that? So in 3 clicks, I got the whole thing done. Isn't that cute? I thought that's adorable. I really like his little feet and his mittens. So this whole design is, let me see the size over here. I think it's perfect for a t-shirt. 6x6, 7x7. It's really cool. Oh, Jennifer says, I know if you have the free embroidery tool shed from Dime, you can trial any of the other software Dime sells for free. You just can't save your work if you don't own it. True. It's a lot of fun. You go down to the bottom here and it'll have everything listed for you. I don't have everything. I have most of it. Extra font packs, and yeah, you can play around with it. Honestly, it's worth the time playing. Put in my lace maker, and then you can put in the it's patch and applique. So we're gonna go over some patches too next Monday. It's I forgot to say, happy Mug Rug and More Monday. So the more is, we're talking about applique and doing some digitizing a little bit. And so give it a try or not, or just be inspired with a lot of different ideas. I sometimes sit and look and just say, what would be cute? What would be cute? And I see a cute cat, and then I can make it my own. I always make everything my own because I'm like that for sure. I'm just kind of picky about it, I guess. So let's go. Oh, you guys can't see. All right, I'll show you that next week. Darn it, this took up half my thing here. Applique cutter, there's a lot more to it, but let me just pull up a couple of ones that you guys will be quite surprised at. So charms. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna do a cut and remove that in file, new, or control N, and then I'm gonna paste it. So that doesn't look the greatest from there, but look at that. Look at that. And it's a charm, and it's, I'm gonna tell you how big it is. 1.5 by 1.5. How cool is that? Isn't it pretty? And it's under fantasy, I think it was. And I really like it. I really thought it was cool. And then there's some applique. All right, well, if we're gonna have the chariot, then we're going to have the built-in applique frog. Isn't he cute? And that's all it would take to, if you wanted to do something for yourself. These are obviously they're designs. They just happen to be all in here. Isn't that cute? That'll give you some ideas. And yes, you can digitize from scratch all of these things. I kind of went over the heart, how you do it. But I also think it's really cool to have stuff like this and then make it your own for sure. I make some designs in Wilcom, but this one sounds better. It's more fun is what I'm gonna say, because you can actually be super creative in a different way than using any other software. I think the closest to it is probably Embrilliance, because they have so many built-in shapes and a whole bunch of things like that. So, I mean, it's cool. But in other software, you open it and you have a blank screen and you go, I need to do a frog applique. What would that look like? What can I do? You know, that sort of thing. And it's right there. Yes, Jennifer, the frog is bigger than the carriage because the carriage is a built-in charm. So it's 1.5 by 1.5. And I can make it so you can see it better. But the froggy is, I'm going to ungroup it, I guess, is the easiest way. The froggy is applique. So let me find, that's his crown. I think the crown is applique as well. There he is. Isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? So we want to do that. Oh, there? Is it there? No. Isn't that cute though? I mean, I love it. So bigger, you can't do applique too small. It is really hard to trim it out. So how easy is it to resize? Very easy, because you're getting the native files. They are not stitch files. They are actual native files. If you notice, there's no errors. You do have to be careful. Obviously, there are limits to it. You can't take something that's digitized at 1.5, 1.5 and make it 10 by 10. You're going to have troubles. But let's make it, you know, quite a bit bigger. And look at that. What do you think? So that is the other huge advantage to this. If, you know, you just want ideas, or if you don't really want to learn how to make such a spectacular carriage, the software does it all for you. So I think, nope, that's outlines. So yeah, you just have to go in, like, for example, on this one. No, it did it right. 3.5. Wow. All right, never mind. But they are the native files, and you can do what you want. The only thing, like I said, is you don't want an applique this big, because look what happens. So you can see what happens. It's just not going to work. He looks kind of funny. He can't go that small. So you can kind of tell just by looking at it. I'm going to make it quite a bit bigger and we'll see what happens. It recalculates. And super cute. Now what happened here on the lips is this is split satin. Satin can only go so big. Your machine actually won't stitch it, so they split it. So these parts here are smaller and it'll stitch, but these are too long, so it just kind of splits it in the middle. I don't really care for it. I always have split satin on, so I don't make something that you can't stitch out. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So you can either make it smaller, you can change it, convert it to complex fill, and oh, because you have to hit apply. I always forget the apply. Cross stitch puffy foam. Where did it go? Oh well, that's okay. So that's the only thing. What I would do, because I really don't want flat stitches on this amazing frog guy, so I would make the whole thing a little bit smaller. So see how much better that looks. That is a nice outline. Oh, that's the artwork. So that would be good to send to your cutter, that part, by the way. We're going to be doing some more videos, maybe on Saturdays, about using your cutter. Now, I have 2 out of the 3 or 4 that's out there, so I can work with the Cricut and I can work with the brother one. So, okay, do you guys have any questions about applique and, you know, about this software. It's best I can answer it. I mean, I don't sell it or do anything like that. I just really enjoy it because it's completely different. So, applique questions, bring them. Let's see. I'm going to pull up a couple more cute things so you guys can see the stuff that's included. The charms, I actually really find them enjoyable because they're so cute. Look at these. So if you're doing a big kitchen kind of applique, look at all this. And I'm going to make this bigger because it's really cute. It doesn't actually go with my frog, but it could. So isn't that cute? Look at that. Really cute. And these are the size that they come in on, and I just think it's so much fun. Does tool shed fix stitches? I think so. What she's asking, oh, no, see, I'll have to ask. I think so. If you have the applique designs, like the add-on, and you bring it into tool shed, it should. But I'm not going to say 100%. So, awesome. So, it just is fun. I was doing something the other day. Of course, I love my lace maker. I use that all the time. It is. Everything goes with the frog. Good answer. I would like to see how you create from shapes as you did in the former videos. That was so much fun, wasn't it? Creating things out of shapes. So you want to see creating applique out of shapes. Okay, so let's go to new file. And it doesn't have a ton of shapes, but it has quite a few. Let's do a heart because I'm feeling the love. So I'm just going to pull the heart out. So I left clicked and dragged it. And it is, if you look here, it's an outline and stitches 0. The Embrilliance does this as well. So this is not stitches. This is just an outline. We can convert it to stitches if we want, which is really easy. Or we can take a shortcut right here and convert to applique. And that was so hard, but I'm done. That's how you can do applique. Is that easy? But let's go back and we can do it manually here. So I would convert this to a run, and then I do Control C, Control V. So that's 2. So that would be placement. That would be the tack down. And then one more for the satin stitches. So our tack down, we wanted a little bit smaller. I hardly remember to do it, but it's easy. Or just leave it. And then the run, we don't have to do satin stitches, but we can. So you don't want the satin, you want the steel, which is just, it's all even sort of thing. We could do tackle twill too. I kind of like that. That's really pretty for sure. And you can make all the changes to it. Or we could go back and we can do convert to steel, and I could tell by looking at it the size is too small. Always keep an eye on your sizes. So this is pretty small. What I'd like to do just to make it a little more fun, so that is the applique. I want to hold on, make sure, I don't want the center line, but I want to make sure we have those wonderful zigzag stitches before the satin stitches. But I'm going to do Control V, and I'm going to have to move it up a little bit. So we want it so our fabric's down. So placement, tack down, and then I want this. And what am I going to do with that? I am going to dress up my fabric just a little bit. So I'm going to change it to a fill. And then I'm going to take that fill. You could do echo stitching. You could, what else could you do? You could do a lot of things. We could add stippling, which is really nice. Just stippling. Remember, this is pretty small and this is why the stippling looks like that. You can change the density, but you have to remember, like this is, what size did I say it was? 3 by 3. That's not very big. So you'd be looking at it like this. And I'm going to show you guys what not to do. Let's see, zoom 1 to 1. Oh, I almost had it exactly. If you decide to make this, you know, more showing because you think that's too sparse, even though they're supposed to be. So you make it, oh, it's not going to show up very well on this. Let's just go crazy. See, that's if you make it bigger, that's what you get because it is a small design. So let's be a little more reasonable. And what if you want it to be smaller? So let's go crazy there. When you look at this in 3D and you move it back, not enough of the fabric is going to show up. So you always have to make sure the size. Look at the difference between this. This is 3 by 3. And if I make it any bigger, and now you can really see how close they are. Your fabric would not show up at all. Plus, this would take forever to stitch out. So let's go to something more reasonable, which is 4. I kind of like that. Not magic numbers. Leave it at the default. Tweak it a little bit. The density. It's not anything that I know off by heart other than what the default is. And in stippling, there's more than one pattern. I kind of like them all. I'm not a huge fan of stippling, but this one's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So no magic numbers, leave it on default. You can play around with it, but don't be afraid to add a little bit of, you know, bling, I guess. I love quilting stuff, so it's fun. And always make sure that your satin stitches on the outside are big enough. Mine aren't quite. You'd be surprised at what a difference it makes. You really want those satin stitches, which is awesome. So that's how you make an applique from a shape. Now you can do this in any software at all. It just happens to be that, you know, this one has a ton of shapes with that add-on, and I love it. I literally played with it all morning, and then I realized I had to get something up or you guys would not know what's going on today. So I'm like, whoops, I better come up with something. But this is just a chat, a question time, the whole bit. Here's one of my favorite applique shapes because you know what that is. There we go. I'm Batman. No, I'm not Batman. So couple of things to remember when doing applique, and again, you can do this in any software. You can do a shape, and Hatch has automatic. I love embrilliance. I use it upstairs on my Mac when I'm working in the evening. It's just awesome. They all have it, or you can just do it with copying and paste. It's super easy. So, do you guys have any questions at all? Now's a good time to ask them. Next Monday, we are going to be talking about patches, which is going to be kind of fun. It's built in, setup is easy, tons of ideas, you know. I'll probably have to watch this video over and over again. I'm feeling old today. Yeah, it's Monday. What can you do? This is why I chose Monday for the, you know, Mug Rug Monday and Mug Rug Monday and more. because Mondays are always kind of blah. So I just wanted to add a little fun to everyone's day. So honestly, I can you do this with PES 10? Yeah. Well, 10, yeah. I haven't used 10 for a long time. I have 11. There's shapes in it, and they have a patch creator and an applique creator. And you just click on it, and you can set up the exact same things as I have here. It's just in a different format. And boom, you have your applique design. And applique designs go anywhere and everywhere. And you can really make them look different by using a specific fabric. So you can picture this bat with some really, skull scary Halloween fabric would make it look kind of like, oh. Or you could use bright and cute fabric. So that's why I like applique. It's fun. It adds so much to it. But any software. Hatch has a thing where if you put an applique over an applique, say this was a moon or something, you really don't want the satin stitches here, the blue ones. And there's a button that you can click that'll fix it super easy. So tons of ways to do it, tons of inspiration in this software. Just play. That's all I do. Just play. And it just gives you ideas, and you don't have to stare at a blank screen, and you can come up with some really cute things. This is my favorite. I think I'm actually going to stitch it out. I think I'm going to stitch it out in maybe on a quilt square or something like that. Yeah, I really like it. I would like to make quilt labels. What is the best font to use in PES 10? Whatever font you want. I always say the only advice I'd give to you is to use built-in fonts. You can't go wrong with them unless you make them too big or too small. Every software has recommended sizes. So it's either in the manual. In this software, I adore it. You can't see when you hover over this, it tells you the recommended height range. So built-in fonts at the correct size. So make sure of that. True type fonts, you can do them, but they're not always done properly because it is auto digitizing, and when we auto digitize, it usually makes a mess. So I never use them very often. I might use them for a base and digitize it properly over, but I would never use them. So that's the only thing. So whatever software, Brilliance, Embird, Hatch, all of those, make sure you know the right sizes, and you can't go wrong. Micro or quarter-inch fonts are best for quilt labels. Yeah, we have micro fonts in this software. There's everything here. Not necessarily though, because when I did the lavender brown quilt, I didn't use any micro fonts. I did their names and the date of their wedding, and I just used regular built-in fonts. The built-in fonts are designed for embroidery. So the only thing is the size, not too big and not too small, for sure. So if you have any questions about applique, let me know. You can ask when the video's over. You can go into the OML Embroidery University Facebook group and ask away there. For this software, you can play with it for free, and you can do that on the Dime website, and you'll be surprised at what you can find in here. It's awesome. In the Patch Maker, does it have micro fonts in it? I'm not really sure. Head on over to designs in machine embroidery and check it out, because I've had the micro fonts. I think you get it with Perfect Embroidery Pro, which is the digitizing part of it. So I'm not really sure what it comes with, but probably because the patches are cool. We will check that out next week, by the way. Next Monday, we're going to do another digitizing, and we're going to talk all about patches, which is basically applique. So applique is applicable everywhere. So ask questions. Let me know if you guys want more videos just like this. Liking the video and people watching it tells me that you guys like it. If I do a video and nobody watches it, I won't do the video again. I wait about a month, but I won't do it again. So if you want more digitizing videos, make sure that you get a lot of people to like it, share it with your friends, share it on Pinterest, share it in Facebook, the whole bit. So we can have a lot of fun with this, just to kick it up a little bit, and we got to get ready for summer, so it's awesome. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys will create your own special applique. It's so much fun. Play in your software. You'll be surprised what you learn. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm waving. Bye.